Hey guys, you remember that song from that animated movie? We don't talk about Bruno, no, no. Remember that was from Encanto. Well, Disney, I think you need to change the lyrics a little bit this year, 2023, because it should be we don't like Latinos, no, no. Paulie here on the Latino Slant. Do me a favor, before we get into this video and explain why I just sang that, grab an amigo, a friend, 10 best friends, then have them subscribe and now to the Latino Slant because we are your leading source in Latino entertainment, music, movies, and pop culture, and so much more. I really love this channel. I'm biased, but I know you guys do too as well. So thank you for that. Okay, in this video, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take 3 movies. I'm going to tell you what they all have in common besides having Latino storylines with Latino directors, producers, actors, you name it. Take these 3 movies: Encanto, Flaming Hot, Sound of Freedom. And what do they all have in common? At one point, they were all either owned or shelved or released by Disney. And to Disney's no effort on their own, on Disney's part, they all have become major grassroots hits. Okay, so we're going to talk about the first 2, and then I'm going to bring in a special guest, and he is going to give his information and his take on Sound of Freedom, why it's so special as far as independent grassroots marketing. So cool. Let's get to the first one. The first one from 2021 is the animated feature called Encanto. It was released November 24th during the COVID pandemic. It only had a 30-day theatrical run before being on Disney Plus. Now, that being said, it went on to make over 250 million worldwide, almost covering its initial expenses. Imagine, guys, imagine if there was a bit of bigger marketing and longer theatrical time, what Encanto could have done just in the theater. Nielsen estimated that Encanto was the most watched film of 2022 with 27.4 billion minutes viewed. It's not a mistake. It's not an error, guys. Okay, and what they called Encanto Mania. Encanto, it's a hashtag. Collectively amassed more than 11.5 billion views on TikTok. We don't talk about Apple Bottom Jeans received over 31 million views. It was a dubbed version of the song, inspiring the parodies of songs. This is why that song even became an Oscar-nominated song, guys. And yes, it won the Oscar for Best Animated Film. But again, one of the criticisms was that it was marketed horribly or very little by Disney. That is argument number 1. Now, let's go to Flaming Hot. Flaming Hot is just that. It's hot. You can catch our interview with lead actor Jesse Garcia, but also, too, let's look at the audience viewerships because it had no theatrical release, Disney. None. You gave it nothing, right? According to Whip Media TV Time, Flaming Hot was the 7th most streamed film across all platforms in the United States during the week of June 11th and in the 9th week of June 16th. Now, according to the streaming aggregator Real Good, Flaming Hot is the 10th most streamed program across all platforms in the United States during the week of June 8th, 2023, and the 9th week of June 15th. Okay, why does this matter? Let me tell you why. There was a grassroots promotion marketing done by Frito-Lay and by the cast and crew, Eva Longoria. They got the word out about this film. $20 million, and you couldn't give it a theatrical release. At that same time, you had a De Niro comedy flop. You had a Jennifer Lawrence comedy, pretty good, but it's still losing money. It was made for over 45 million. To this date, it's made around 32 million globally. Where was the promotion for this film? Why didn't it get a theatrical release? It obviously struck a chord in the Latino community, using the stereotypes in a good and fully fleshed out way as far as characters, feel good, family. Oh, let me stop right there. Encanto, feel good, family, faith. Oh, okay. All right. Are you trying to tell us something, Disney? Top 10 streaming movies. Look at this, guys. Look at this list. Number one, Disney got Avatar: Way of Water. That's why they bought Fox. Number five, Flaming Hot. Number five. There's no stars in Flaming Hot. There's no big draw as far as like a star name, a Salma Hayek or Banderas. No, it's all newcomers. That's a hit. Now go back down to number 10, Encanto. Encanto is still making Disney money. And if you notice the top streaming movies for Disney, I don't see a single one from Star Wars. I don't see a single one from Marvel. You got Encanto, and then you got Flaming Hot, 2 in the top 10. No big names. And you guys just didn't even give Flaming Hot a theatrical release. And yet, like the Latino way, we still prevailed. We still made these things hits. It's that independent spirit, man. And then add insult to injury. Probably what's going to be the biggest independent success, not only of this year, but probably of this era, is The Sound of Freedom. You can catch my review. I've been on Film Threat, did a review with them as well. Directed by Alejandro Monteverde from Mexico, produced by Eduardo Verástegui from Mexico. Most of the movies in Spanish. Incredible film. Disney owned it at a certain time, about 5 years ago. They owned it, but they didn't release it. They shelved it. I want to bring in Fletcher Williams. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
What do you think of what I've laid down my argument so far? What do you think of that?
No, it's funny because it almost seems like there's a pattern to what is happening. You got movies that are friendly to Latino families. You have movies that are basically done by good actors, but are not the most well known, and that are have a slant, or shall we say a hint, a flavoring of faith of the Latino community. And all of a sudden, wow, let's we can't do that. I mean,
heaven forbid, no pun intended. You mentioned the word God in a movie. All of a sudden, it's a right leaning religious film.
Yeah.
Tell us about The Sound of Freedom, because it was completed like 5 years ago, and at that time it was owned by Disney. How did Eduardo get it back?
Well, so from my understanding, the distributions, Disney held the distribution rights of the movie. The movie itself was funded for $14.5 million by Angel Studios, which is out of Provo, Utah. And it's a small, like, should we say, faith-based studio? But this is not, like they even said, this is not strictly a faith-based movie. It's a movie of just a subject that's very much in the now, that people are not that don't know about. And they had to fight to get those distribution rights back. But once they did that, the money's, it's a little bit low, so they had to be inventive, like all small indie creators. They went to the people. I mean, look at what you said, Encanto. It wasn't the studio who did it. It was the people. The fans got out there and did the grassroots marketing, because their kids were loving it. Bring it over to another kid's house.
Singing to it.
Doing TikToks, going out on Instagram. And this is what happens. Flaming Hot. All the staff involved, everybody, from the producers to the gaffers, everybody out there was pushing the movie, getting out there. I mean, we all saw like the video from Alejandro, who he's out there with a bag of Flaming Hots promoting the movie. These are grassroots. But you know what, Paulie? This is what Latino families do. All right. When faced with a problem or something that we're facing some kind of adversity in society and culture or government or anything like that, Latino families pull together. You get the cousins, you get your tios, everybody pulls together and helps out. And Hollywood has not figured this out.
Well, Eduardo Verástegui figured out he doesn't need Hollywood to connect. So
Correct.
he's been connect. What has he been saying in the Spanish speaking world in Mexico, and then in his general messages of thanks to people? What's going on with the connection between him and the Latino audience in your opinion?
I think he's really thankful and honored and really humble. That's one thing with him. He's a very humble person. He's a very faith-based person, but he's a very respectful person. And he's able to convey that to the audience, and the audience can feel it. He's out there thanking everybody for the support, but also letting people know it's not about him. It's about the message that this movie gives. And this is something fresh.
Okay. So it's not about in his thanks, he's not giving any of his personal, agenda out, because some people get turned off with that.
Right.
But clearly this is touched a huge wider audience than just religious people.
Correct. This is a worldwide problem that we are facing, and he is on the cusp of it, and he realizes that. He is really humbled by all the support, and everything that he's putting out on social media has been, he gets a little bit flavorful, talking about Mexican politics. A lot of you follow him on like social media,
Sure.
but he doesn't mix this with the movie part. There is
Gotcha.
no like,
Gotcha.
esta película va a cambiar Mexico. This is very much a humbling. I'm so happy that I got to be part of this, and I was able to bring this message to the light. It's all about the message. It's all about the movie. There is no like, God allowed me to make this movie or anything like that. He's not trying to shove it down your face. He's letting you know, please go see it.
Now, one last thing, then we're gonna wrap it up. Disney at this very time released Indiana Jones: Dial of Destiny. No one predicted that this film would beat Indiana Jones on the 4th of July in the box office. That was historic, man.
That's
And
crazy.
The fact that Disney once owned the rights, they could have been sitting on 2 hits right now. 2 hits.
Yeah. But we know good and well they wouldn't have put him, in the same time or something. But yeah, you're talking about a movie that was made for $14 million versus a movie that's like $295 million. One it's independently put out. The other one is just a bloated studio, and it goes to everything that you've been saying here in the slant. Support your local Latino, and other alternative media, filmmakers, musicians, and stuff, because the companies, they don't understand you, and they're not really trying to help you. These are people who want to put out a passionate project, and Disney just doesn't seem to understand what a creator is anymore.
Well, there you have it, everyone. It is you that matters, the audience that matters, that goes and sees these movies. Your independent spirit, keep it alive. 3 movies now for you to watch that Disney doesn't really care about if you watch or not. Encanto, Flaming Hot, Sound of Freedom. Thanks a lot, Fletcher Williams.
Thank you.